Okay, I've been asked to talk a little bit on case finishing, and we're going to be picked half a dozen cases, and we're going to begin with this one. This is a young lady. It was a very good-looking young lady. You wouldn't recognize it, though, because they don't present that way when they've been in chronic pain. She happens to be a diplomat in the diplomatic corps for the United States government. This is her profile. These are her symptoms: constant left-sided headache and face pain after the insertion of a crown. If I have one piece of advice for a general dentist, never deliver a crown on Friday. Because it'll blow up over the weekend. They'll call the local dental society. They'll send them to some young guy who's taken emergency calls that weekend, and he'll badmouth you and say that thing was no good, it's too high, too low, you need me, you know, that kind of stuff, and trigger a lawsuit. That's what happens when you live in a litigious society, and yours is probably becoming that as time passes, I would think. She's been equilibrated, and as you know, equilibration, if and when it works, only works for about a short period of time. And the only reason it works is because it changes the proprioceptive input into the dorsal horn of the spinal cord. And then after about 6 weeks' time, the patient accommodates to it and the symptoms return. So if you can convince the patient to be equilibrated every 6 weeks for the rest of their life, you can stay out of pain. She's got left masseter pain, left preauricular pain. Everything's on the left, and most of the times it is, about 80% of the time. The bottom one there, constant bloodshot and burning eyes, is usually due to venous drainage being impaired on the internal jugular vein. She's here she's pointing. We usually say point to where it hurts the most, point to the second most, third most, and so on. This is her occlusion. Again, notice her midline's off to the affected side. This is her eccentric occlusion on the right. You can see all this dentistry that's been done. Here's the other side. Again, a lot of dentistry. This is her lower arch form. And whenever you see something like this, where the porcelain is worn through, and you put that in a year ago, and there was no metal showing, and then she comes back for a year recall, and you see that, you have a TMJ problem on the side. When I examined her, she hurts in 21 different places, or when we palpate her, we provoke pain in 21 places. She's got an occlusal plane cant. This is her soft tissue profile, which is, see, it was all done. All the dental work that she's had was done to this pathological scenario right here. So now the entire stomatognathing system is pathological. And it's all because of lack of awareness on the original guy's part. Come over here, Jeff. This is Jeff Hinton and his gorgeous wife. They've got a system you may be interested in. Just go up and talk to them. Okay, now this is an MRI, eccentric occlusion. And the disc, which is supposed to be on top of the condyle, is this big glob right here, this big black glob. And here it is there. So all of this was built to the disc being out of place. Here she goes and opens, and the disc gets pushed ahead of the condyle as the condyle translates down here until it gets pushed ahead of the capsule or into the capsule, which is right here. And that's called a capsulitis. You usually do not see the capsule on an MRI, except when it's inflamed here. These are the people who particularly say, you know, it hurts when I open wide, it hurts. Well, of course, because you're jamming this up against the capsule. Now, I bet you'd be happy with this. Most people would be. I know from experience that this isn't going to last. It's not stable because the discs are still out of place. The muscles are still in various states of contraction, although less so than before, the masturbatory muscles, and will react with masturbatory muscle hyperactivity and relapse this case over time.